I've got no roots, but my home was never on the ground. I've got no roots, but my home was never on the ground. I've got no roots. I've got no roots. I've got no roots, but my home was never on the ground. I've got no roots, but my
What's up, everyone? You know me, Sudrain. I run the channel and on the yeah, I film all the videos for Sudrain Exploit and any other videos on the channel. I dabble a little bit in writing every now and again, and yeah, that's about it. I just work here. Here's the rest of the team.
Hi, I'm Petey James.
James the Red Engine was miserable. Hee funny.
I am the writer of Sudrain Exploit. I go by they and it, but you may also know me as the voice of Annie, Clarabelle, Daisy, Mavis, Henrietta, the auto coaches, and Rusty.
Hey, I'm Speedy. I'm the main ideas guy behind Sudrain Exploit,
Damn, your girl so fine, but her breath is like.
and I am also the co-producer of the series. I am also responsible for the voices behind Thomas, James, the Scottish twins, and Sir Topham Hatt himself.
There we go. Now that you know us, let's see how these videos are made. Start off with the bottom of the barrel, the prologue. Yeah, I don't really know. Wait a minute. Bait it?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, bro. What the? Is that my smell? Smelling like Petey. So yeah, there isn't much to talk about with this one. I wanted the series to take place shortly after season 3, which is why we started with this episode. I gotta say, this is all very rushed and not my best work. I hate that this is my first official video on the channel. It just makes me so... I don't know how to feel about it, man. Actually, that's exactly how I feel about it. Not much put into this. Shots were very mediocre at the time, but hey, we all gotta start from somewhere. And that's why me and the team have decided to redo the prologue, along with episodes 1 and 2. After much debate, we've decided to redo these 3 so that they're more connected to the story. Because as they stand now, they're the bane of my existence. So the sooner they're gone, the better. So yeah, episode 1, the start of it all.
Episode 1 was pretty good, but a bit awkward when it comes to making it. For starters, writing the episode was a bit slippery as me and Sari didn't always have the time to meet up and actually write the episodes. That and, well, in terms of writing the episodes, it kinda worked like this.
I could write, but I couldn't get the major idea of the story down.
I could come up with the ideas, but I absolutely sucked, and still suck, at actually writing them out.
This more often than not led to us having to be in the same call together to actually get the full story down,
Since we couldn't figure it out on our own otherwise. Thankfully, we still finished the episode, albeit it did not release on the time we had hoped to release it, but it was still a lot of fun to make. And it definitely earned its place as the most viewed episode, even though by comparison to the more recent episodes, it could definitely use a bit of an update.
So yeah, there's one thing that's always bugged me when we're watching this episode. I have multiple steam engines running on the line, when I said before there was little coal on the island. Yeah, there goes continuity, right? Pretty dumb on my part. Luckily this was fixed in a rewrite. Anyway, episode 2. I didn't have much planned for this episode. It was more so filler to hold over to episode 3. The beginning of the episode is a bit of a callback to Carson's video.
Henry and the fucking rain.
I wanted to show how unruly the passengers can be with the engines, and to show, while strict, Topham Hatt will stick up for his engines. I'd say it's there for the most part, but it just turned to Topham rambling for several minutes, sadly. This is also another one I'm glad we did a rewrite for. So much better.
Okay, I'll be blunt. Episode 2 is not good. Initially, the episode was supposed to be an ensemble episode, focused on the big engines improperly expressing their grievances regarding the passengers being equally as frustrating. What we didn't exactly expect to happen was for the episode to turn into a James-focused one during writing. There was already a James-centric episode planned for the season called Too Hot for James. But since we hadn't written it yet, and the fact that there wasn't much to go for with it, Sudrain decided to just replace it with a new episode once we figured one out. This would ultimately become New Shunter in Town. But aside from that, the big problem with episode 2 was the pacing. It just stretched out too long. A good bit of moments in the episode were just stretched out way longer than they needed to be. And what was supposed to be a powerful moment for Sir Topham Hatt just turned into a boring lectures type moment. I do wish we could have done it better when we had first made it. But it was the second episode we had ever done, so it's not like we could have done it perfectly on the second go. Could have been worse.
Now you're probably wondering why I didn't go over the technical side of these first 3 episodes. Well, there isn't much to say. Filmed a few clips, dropped them down into Adobe, and boom, there was a video. The more later episodes have more complex things to talk about, which will be talked about later in the video once we get to those. With this episode, I really wanted to do something with the auto coaches, as there weren't many videos including them. Then came the question, who did I want interacting with them? After some changes and a lot of searching, I figured Percy was the best choice. Honestly, having him with the Little Western crew was such a vibe. This is also the first time I was working with motion blur. And for the most part, it looks a little rough. But we've worked that out. I also started testing out Steam effects as well. I'd say they look pretty good. I want to try and put them in more videos in future and see how it goes. A little fun fact, the original episode was supposed to be about Toby, but after looking at him next to the auto coaches, he looked a bit funny. So we didn't go with that. Speaking of changes that were made, as the last story featured Percy, we made Toby the lead of this story. And honestly, I liked it a lot better with him. With this episode, I really wanted to give George a bit more character. Most times when George is written, people usually focus on his one trait of disliking railways. It's not a bad thing, but I wanted to give him a bit more depth and make him a character who likes the quiet moments and likes to take their time to enjoy it. We had all the major scenes done, and the ending. It was hard for myself and Speedy to find a good spot to give George a moment to himself.
And that's where I came in. Okay, so I started as the voice of Alice and Maribel in episode 3, August 19th, 2022. I came forward asking Sutter if he needed help because I was starting off writing and thought myself alright. I was gladly accepted and I thought I added an okay scene. I wrote the part where everyone talked behind George's back and let him lament on what he did before Birdie's big call out.
Yeah, without Petey, this episode would have been collecting dust for a while. When it came to writing this story, Speedy and I didn't even get a chance to put a word down before Petey had written up the whole script. I'm not mad about it though, because Petey did a great job at characterizing Scruffy. Like with other characters in the series, they did a great job at developing them beyond the main source, without straying too far.
No Use at All is a funny story actually, so the episodes after this are a 90-10 split with me and Suddery. This episode though was 100% me. Oh my fucking god, why do you guys enjoy this? I'm half joking though, this episode is good as a build up to Scruffy's character arc, but as standalone, it's just okay. To me, it is. Fun fact, I actually had a hard time brainstorming this episode when I was first given it. I slept on it, and then the next day while I was at work rolling some like mozzarella bites, I came up with the whole episode, and my poor coworkers had to just watch me run from the front to the back and just scribble on a post-it note. What's worse is that they read it.
Filming for this episode was a hassle, to say the least. A majority of this episode takes place at night, and at the time, I hadn't really filmed many night scenes, so the lighting here is a bit too purplish and just doesn't give off a good night vibe in my opinion. Besides that, everything else is pretty smooth. The avoided crash worked well, and the daytime shots weren't that bad. The Thomas and Edward scene was a last minute addition. Since episode 2, the conflict with Thomas had not been touched upon since. So here we made sure he finally talked to Edward about his anxiety. As the series goes on, this plot point will be better explained.
Suddery gave me an OC that had almost nothing and said don't fuck it up. I did it, but holy hell, I would be out of a job. Nah, I'm joking. Honestly, I have fun with Jane. Giving her a personality and being a strong female character is, I loved it. I loved it. I kind of associate Jane with Rainbow Dash with their personalities. Jane is hot-headed, no nonsense, unless her nonsense, and will stand up for herself for anyone she cares about. I also view Jane as a niece. Technically not my child, aka my OC, but I helped her through, and I love her. I also saw you fuckers shipping him with Duck this episode. I wrote a perfectly good Duck X Edward. You will not silence me. I seriously wrote Duck X Edward and you guys shipped Duck and Jane? You guys heathens. Heathens.
Hey, get your head cannons out of here. Shoo.
Shut your bitch ass up!
And she wasn't a complete blank slate. She had a bio page. I would show y'all more, but
I mustn't tell you any more, or I shall spoil the next story.
I know there's a lot of series that include OCs, but
Jane's better.
No, but seriously, Jane was a fun character to write with and make a personality for. Now, where was I? Oh, yes. This is probably my favorite episode from Sudrain Exploit. Yeah, I am biased because it involves Jane, but I really had a lot of fun doing this episode. This episode was the first time I actually had to do a crash in the series. If you hadn't noticed, whenever a situation came up where the engine would fail or something along the lines of that, I never did a crash sequence. At the time, I wasn't confident in my filming skills and wasn't really sure how to even set up a crash scene. But I knew I needed to learn this for Jane's episode, as I wanted to go all out. So, after a week or so of trial and error, I finally got it to look how I wanted. There were a couple scenes in this episode where we needed storyboards drawn up. Petey drew them, and look, I know you're a good artist, but even the Aztecs couldn't tell what was drawn here, so I don't know how I was able to figure it out. Despite that, this is still one of my favorite episodes, and I love making every second of it.
We here at Sudrain Exploit would like to say ships are not canon to the story. Our writer is a bit delusional. Please be advised.
Suddery doesn't know this, but I'm gonna be honest. Inspection, I really had nothing planned for, except for the big climax with Gordon. Inspection became the easiest form of writing I know. The 3 strikes formula. Yes, Inspection is a 3-strike formula. Rewatch it and see it for yourself. Now, honestly though, Gordon, I just like Gordon's character. So, I did a small character study and I realized he's pretty complex. Now, I won't banter too much because of spoilers, But what I will say is Gordon is going to have a heart in this series. He seemed like a grumpy old fart, but he cares deep down.
7 episodes in and not one centered around my favorite character. Time to fix that. Call me basic all you want, but Edward is my favorite. Writing a story around him turned out to be more challenging than I thought. I see now why a lot of people write him as a secondary character rather than the main, but I would like to have another go at writing for him, as I feel this story is okay, but we can do a lot better. Filming for this episode was quite fun. I felt more comfortable doing crash scenes now and was really proud of the outcome. The shot of Boko and Edward was probably the hardest, only because getting the timing right was tedious, but in the end I think it was worth it.
Stepney and the twins is a fever dream. All I remember is that me and Sudri were half asleep, and I was just really scared people wouldn't like my comedy style since I write very Muppety-esque. I'm in no way a comedy writer, but I like to add some comedy bits via visuals and not full-on jokes, so I'm honestly glad the reception of episode 8 was pretty good in means of my comedy.
Like Petey said, this episode really was a fever dream. It started with me and Petey sitting in the writing room, figuring out where we wanted this story to go. Once we knew we wanted the story to be comedic, it was all downhill from there. Pretty sure we spent most of the night laughing at the script as it went on. Having Stephanie paired up with the twins worked better than I expected, and their interactions throughout the episode was pretty fun. Also, having Gordon have the flashbacks of the twins when warning Stephanie was probably peak writing of this episode. For this episode, I was testing the waters with some new camera work. It seemed to turn out fine. This episode was pretty easy to film overall. The clay pit scenes is probably one of my favorite. The crash wasn't all that hard either for this one.
I actually have characters swear a lot in the scripts.
Like this.
And they usually get edited. One instance I can remember is in Stepney and the Twins, instead of it being blast, he can read, it was fuck, he can read, and like. So, the Duck and Edward scene in New Shunter in town. So here you can see I intended it to be a flirty moment with Edward and Duck. I changed it. The fun fact though, Duck's blush almost made it into the final, more so out of embarrassment, not flusterment. I've also scarred Sudri forever because most of my ships are just rooted into the original show somewhat. So any pairing, he gets so scared. Also, when I'm writing, I accidentally have people call each other dad, kiddo, hun, or sweetie, but obviously I cut it out because it's not canon. Kiddo does slip sometimes, like in Inspection where Toby calls Percy and Thomas that. A fun fact, I am dyslexic.
And this is the story of the time I found out I have dyslexia.
And the script editor has struggled so many times editing my drafts. My grammar was actually so bad once, I forgot which script it was. He then yelled at me in a private VC, which is kind of funny. Another fun fact, I get a Sudrain Exploit script done in about like an hour.
He's done! Done? Mm-hmm. It's only been an hour.
Sometimes maybe less. Usually I scare Sudri with how fast I work a lot.
Before we go, I ought to let you know a few things that go on behind the scenes while we're actually coming up with these stories. Enjoy.
Don't forget about the gun!
Okay, no.
I can see it. I could see Godzilla.
I can understand Godzilla.
You can how? So you can't understand Wubsy, but you can understand Godzilla.
Dude, Wubsy Godzilla, man.
Oh yeah, him. Most definitely. Oh,
Garnet, yeah.
That's no question. He grew up all the time.
Goofy and Max.
Facts.
I could see it.
If you've seen the Goofy movie, you can tell. If you've seen the Goofy movie,
why does he look more white than black? Oh no, we are not going to talk about what we found last time.
This is off topic, but this dude makes amazing edits.
The Diesel 10.
I should do a quick shout out.
Let's not. That mean face. That looks like a fish.
No, not the James thirst trap. No. Out of everything, you show the James thirst trap.
I gotta show. No, you didn't see this one, Speedy. You didn't see this one. This one's.
Oh wait, are you gonna show him? Are you gonna show him Zesty Engine?
I'm gonna show him that too. I'm gonna show him that too. But this one.
No, please.
Hold up. Wait, is this a thirst trap for Edward?
Listen to the song.
Okay, low key. I need. Okay, this is gonna sound so out of pocket. But can we please normalize like just doing shitpost thirst traps of the engines? That I want to see some of like the most bonkiest shit that y'all can make.
Hey, Speedy, remember that last time I said I couldn't find that Percy edit?
You found it.
I found it.
Newest engine.
Percy. Hello, Thomas. I'm Percy.
I guess he just built it.
Whistle. I love it when he includes the whistles into the edit.
I totally wasn't dancing my behind off him. Yeah, I totally wasn't dancing.
I can't blame you. I cannot blame you.
See what I mean? He really loves the sea. But instead he found himself in a corner.
The hell? This isn't a sea. Where? Hello, me hearties. I'm looking for the docks area. This doesn't look like a docks to me. Where can I find it?
No, cause it's a quarry, you dumb shit.
Hey.
Quarry?
Oh, you must be the new Diesel. I'm a Diesel too. Don't mind those steamy fucks over there. We need your help, please.
This place has rocks. I'm a dockside Diesel. I don't do this shit. Where's the sea at?
Well, this is a quarry, you dumb fuck. You're a quarry Diesel now. Get your ass to it. We don't like little bitches who cry and whine.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll... It's still trucks here. Bye.
Dude, I'm gonna be real. For
if I can spell trampy right.
For y'all who know us, you know who you are. Henry. Gordon. Who the fuck would be our Percy?
Who would be the Percy?
Because you're Thomas. I'm James.
Battery's Edward.
Yeah. Who'd be Percy?
I think this scene right here is pretty good. I don't know.
That's a good question, actually.
Let's see what you've learned since we've started. I'll travel behind and bank you if necessary, but that small house.
Oh, dude.
Never mind, James.
Never.
All right. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Come on.
Never mind, James.
Never mind, James. Never mind. What you mean, never mind? I got steamed up for nothing. You're gonna tell me never mind?
No, this is just us in a. No, this is just me in a voice call being like, "Hey guys, let's do something," and then you guys never show up.
Yeah. Never mind, Petey. Never mind, Petey.
I literally knew.
Like I literally sit. No, here's the thing. I literally sit in VC for like almost hours waiting for these guys. Like it's like we're gonna meet up at like this specific time. Okay. Hey, so actually we can't really come. You can't come. I could have been in a different VC this whole time. Hi, I'm PD James. I am the writer. You know this, but I also am an artist. And I'm mostly known for my human AU. I'm scrolling through like the oldest stuff down to the newest. My best works literally are the ones with Jane. Sudrain's gonna kill me, but this is gonna be added to Sudrain Exploit. I don't care what he says.
I'm sorry, what?
Whatever it is, it will not.
It's gonna happen. Anyway, speaking of Jane, I drew this with my old duck. This is an old duck design. Don't expect him to look like that. But Jane, on the other hand, though, she still looks like that. This art piece I made during when I was making the Jane episode. That honestly, I had canon Jane would take Duck's cane and beat him upside the head with it, cause like that would be something she would do. Oh.
No.
Sudri, please do the you'll understand.
Right now?
No, in editing, you'll understand.
Oh. Oh Lord.
Oh! I'm just now showing off all the Jane art, cause like look at her.
Oh Lord.
She is stunning. Oh crap! I forgot about the cursed memes. Fun fact: this is the only instance in my humanizations where I have OCs interacting with canon characters, aside for this other piece from another friend. Oh, cancel me. Okay, y'all, you can cancel me all you want, but this piece, I love this piece. It is our entire group of OCs with Richard. I need to redo Richard.
No, but this man is doing a thing he knows I'm not. Bro.
Unrelated to my human AU, but thanks again to Sudri for this image. Speaking of Sudri, let's head back over to you.
Dude, I used to watch this all the time on Bro. Chris Pratt.
Dude, they're so young in there. Like, Chris, have you? No, okay,
you see
so.
them cut to wild crowds, I'm like, dang.
No, okay, here, no, search up recent images of them, because, like, I get Wildcrat stuff on my TikTok For You page, and the Wildcrats community was, like, the first fandom I joined in, and they're just as unhinged as I remembered. But, like, I saw, yeah, wait, I think I saved it, but, like, Sudri, if I can find it, put it in the video, but there's this funny-ass TikTok I saw.
They got They have a Twitter?
I guess so. I'm following now. Go support the Wild Prince on Twitter.
Turning my soul.
What kind of fool do you take me for? He's Squidward, Squidward, you're Squidward, I'm Squidward! Is there any other Squidward I
Wait
should
for
know
it.
about?
This is a spoiler for the newer episodes.
Look, lady,
I wrote this joke in.
My name is Skylar White, yo. My husband is Walter White, yo.
I literally wrote that joke though. My name is Skylar White, yo. But so in a future episode called Breaking Bad, we have that joke playing out, but you'll never guess who's saying it. It is James.
Alright, guys.
Here we go.
They'll take you home now, Highland girl. Little lake girl, but no wiser still. I'll take you home now, Highland girl. Walk up churchyard high on hill. Oh, Highland girl. They'll take you home now, Highland girl.
Little bit late, girl, but no wiser still. Back to your hometown, Highland girl. Cold dark churchyard, high on hill. Whoa, Highland girl.
That was still really good.
I love that. I also want to take this time to thank everyone who has supported the channel so far. I know it's been a while since the last video, but I promise it'll be worth it. I also want to thank my team for sticking with me throughout this process, because I couldn't have done half things I do without them. And that's not just the writing team. My script editor, my music composers, my sound effects specialist, my railway consultant, and my series analyst. Thank you to you all for making the channel what it is. And if this is the last time you hear my voice this year, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's. Bye guys.